Fallout Season 2 Episode 1 Review. Cooper's smile hides a dangerous choice. Fallout Season 2 Episode 1 sets a darker tone as power replaces survival, choices turn deadly, and one smile hints at the end of free will. By the time Fallout wrapped up its first season, it had already made one thing painfully clear to me: the apocalypse wasn't an accident, it was a business decision. Fallout Season 1 peeled back the cheerful Vault-Tec branding to expose something far uglier underneath: corporate greed dressed up as survival planning. We watched Lucy Ella Purnell leave the safety of her vault, believing the world could still be fixed, only to learn that her own father, Hank McLean, had helped destroy it. The finale ended with Hank walking away from his daughter after forcing her to confront the truth and the corpse of her own mother. Now Season 2 doesn't pause to let that damage settle. Fallout Season 2 Episode 1, titled "The Man Who Knew," picks up the pieces and sharpens them into weapons. Hank McLean, played by Kyle MacLachlan, isn't running from what he's done, he's energized by it. Lucy isn't wandering anymore, he's chasing. Cooper Howard isn't confused, he's cornered. And the show wastes no time telling us that the worst part of the end of the world isn't the bombs. Fallout Season 2 Episode 1, Hank McLean finally drops the act. Hank McLean no longer pretends to be anything other than what he is. Fallout Season 1 showed us the polite overseer mask slipping. This episode rips it clean off. We learn that before the bombs ever fell, Hank was so devoted to Vault-Tec that he willingly put himself on ice, trusting that the future belonged to the company. When he woke up, he built a life, raised children, and then erased an entire city without blinking. That history hangs over every step he takes now. Instead of guilt or regret, Hank carries momentum. When he reaches what remains of Vault-Tec's infrastructure and discovers that hundreds of thousands of messages have been sitting unread for centuries, it doesn't horrify him, it excites him. He smiles and says, "Let's get to it," like he's clearing his inbox before lunch. Kyle MacLachlan plays Hank with terrifying calm. There's no villain speech, no self-justification. Hank genuinely believes unity is worth any price. To him, free will is the real problem. Factions cause conflict, choice causes disorder, and if everyone thinks the same way, well, problem solved. Fallout Season 2 Episode 1 goes back in time, and it's not subtle. Fallout Season Episode 1's pre-war opening sets the tone early, and it doesn't bother easing us in. Robert House, played here by Justin Theroux, demonstrates a prototype mind control device on a construction worker angry about being replaced by robots. It's an ugly, uncomfortable scene, and that's the point. The worker is stripped of agency, forced to kill his colleagues, and when House pushes the system too far, the device fails catastrophically. House watches the aftermath with fascination and declares, "The world may end, but progress marches on." That line chilled me. Not because it's clever, but because it's honest. This is the philosophy that burned the world down: innovation without responsibility, progress without empathy. The show isn't subtle here, and I'm glad it is. The parallels to modern tech culture are obvious, and the episode doesn't flinch from them. Fallout Season 2 Episode 1, Control replaces destruction back in the present. The implications of that technology become far more dangerous. One vault experimented with direct brainwashing. Another, Vault-Tec's own hidden facility beneath New Vegas, worked on shrinking the device until it could disappear inside a human body. That revelation hit harder than any explosion. A bomb ends a city, this ends choice. Hank's worldview makes horrifying sense in that context. He didn't destroy Shady Sands out of cruelty alone, he destroyed it because it represented division. His goal isn't domination through fear, it's compliance through contentment. A world where nobody argues, nobody resists, and nobody remembers what freedom felt like. Lucy and the Ghoul stop running and start gambling. Lucy and the Ghoul, Walton Goggins, aren't drifting through the wasteland anymore. They're following a trail, and it's soaked in blood. Their stop in Novik feels familiar but uneasy. Lucy's plan to turn the Ghoul into the Great Khans and then free him quietly is a gamble born of optimism. She tries to talk her way out of violence. It doesn't work. Her aim stays careful, the Ghoul's does not. I like that the show didn't pretend Lucy's restraint made her morally superior. It nearly gets her killed. The Ghoul survives because he understands the rules of this world better than she does, and that tension continues to define their partnership. Their arrival at Vault 24 is where the episode truly turns grim. Hank has already been there. He takes what he needs and leaves Lucy a message through a controlled man who tells her to go home right before his head explodes. It's cruel, calculated, and personal. Hank isn't hiding anymore, he's taunting her. Cooper Howard's smile is the scariest moment in the episode. Walton Goggins delivers the episode's most unsettling performance, and it isn't during a speech or a breakdown, it's during a smile. Pre-war Cooper learns that Vault-Tec isn't preparing for nuclear war, it's planning it. His wife is involved. Robert House once brushed it off with the line, "There's a lot of earning potential with the end of the world." Cooper tries to run with his daughter only to realize there's nowhere left to go. Then Lee Moldaver gives him a choice he can't ignore. She doesn't ask him to spy, she asks him to kill House. Cooper says no, but when he gets home and smiles at his wife, it's empty, forced. That smile tells us everything. He's already weighing the cost, and that's the cliffhanger that matters most to me. Vaults 3133, when the system starts eating itself, Norm Maclean's storyline doesn't explode, it suffocates. Trapped among frozen Vault-Tec executives, starving and manipulated by Bud, now reduced to a brain in a machine, Norm finally snaps. When Bud panics and yells, "No, no, wait, I need that to threaten you," it's almost funny, almost. Norm wakes every executive at once. It's not a win, it's desperation. And it's the first sign that Vault-Tec's greatest enemy might be itself. Fallout Season 2, Episode 1, Easter eggs that made me smile without breaking the story. What I appreciated most is how Fallout Season 2 Episode 1 weaves its references naturally. Novick feels lived in, not staged. The dinosaur still looms, still watching. The great cons don't exist as fan service, they exist because this world hasn't forgotten them. Lucy's careful targeting echoes game mechanics without winking at the camera. Radiation healing is just another survival trick. Vault 24 finally gets a story of its own instead of living as a footnote. Starlight Drive-In appears briefly, but for anyone who spent hours there in the games, it lands like a memory you didn't expect to feel again. Even Lucy ignoring a perfectly good hat felt painfully in character. Nothing screams for attention, it all fits in this Amazon Prime Video series. Is Fallout Season 2 Episode 1 worth a watch? Yes, and not just if you loved Fallout Season 1. I thought this was a confident, unsettling opener that trusted its audience. It didn't rush, it didn't explain everything, it let discomfort sit where it belongs. The pacing might feel heavy to some, but for me, it worked. This episode is about intent, and intent is what makes Fallout dangerous again. What do you think Cooper will do? Is Hank beyond saving or exactly what Vault-Tec wanted all along? And how long before Control replaces destruction entirely? Share your thoughts and follow FandomWire for more Fallout recaps, reviews, and deep dives. Fallout Season 2 is streaming exclusively on Prime Video.